Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, TDK, Mr. So Real, and in this week's good or garbage vendor reset, we're going to be taking a look at what's going on, and I have to admit that there isn't anything that is particularly amazing this week, but there are a few things that may help a couple people out with their builds, and maybe some missing pieces that people are looking for. There is a pretty decent, kind of respectable electronics mod that has some nice armor on it, and there's a specialized bag that I pretty much highly recommend, and the sniper rifles, oh my, 170 plus on a couple of them, so you may want to check those out. But yeah, that is what's going on in this week's good or garbage. I hope you guys are having a good 2017. Let's get this show started. Let's go. The special blueprints vendors weapons that are being sold this week are the M870 shotgun, the classic RPK 74 light machine gun, stamina knee pads, firearms gloves, quick release magazine for faster reload speed, vertical grip for optimal range, stamina gear mod, electronics gear mod. These are all of the blueprints that are being sold this week. My recommendations, if you don't have them, would definitely be the stamina gear mod to try and get more stamina, plus maybe some armor if you get a good roll. The firearms gloves may not be too bad if you're looking for those savage gloves. You can get firearms on those, and really and truly that would be about it. All right, so let's move over to the Phoenix Credit, vendor, and we'll see what he has for sale this week. All right, now the special equipment vendor, he has a Liberator with 22% enemy armor damage if you're looking for one of those. But definitely my recommendation for this week in terms of weapons would be between the double barrel sawed-off sidearm. I know some of you guys are running Alpha Bridge, and I believe the exploit to get 9 talents is still in the game. If that is true, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know that it does work. I don't have my Alpha Bridge character on me right now, so I can't test that. But I believe, and I've heard from a couple reliable sources, that it is still in the game. I think you have to jump through a couple hoops to get it to work, but you can have 9 talents with Alpha Bridge, so it's completely busted. But if you really want to work the exploit for as long as you can until Massive decides to fix it, this is your easy way to grab it, but it will cost you 1,248 Phoenix credits. Now, barring that, my recommendation weapon for this week would be the M700, just because of the 172% headshot damage. The talents that it has on it are Talented, Unforgiving, and of course Elevated. The base damage is 105, which is not bad. I have some other M700s with a bit less base damage, so this is not too bad, but that 172 headshot damage is monster. The recommended talents that I would say you may want to get rid of are either Talented or Elevated, depending on your playstyle. You can go ahead and get rid of one of those, and I would definitely recommend you put Brutal for even more headshot damage. Now, when it comes to the gear that is being sold this week, the only 2 things that really stand out for me are, one, the Predator's Mark backpack. It is not the best. It is not. It doesn't have ammo capacity, which I think is almost mandatory for a backpack, and it does come with 1269 electronics, so if you need electronics to get something to proc, then that could be good. But if you don't need it, just remember, if you re-roll it, you may not get as good of a primary attribute stat, and it doesn't have the ammo capacity, so kind of keep that in mind. The Fire Crest is another one that is missing something. It's actually missing 2 things. It's missing the ammo capacity, and the base stat in the firearms is a bit low, but it does have 910 armor, so kind of keep an eye out for that, depending on how you want to re-roll things, and if you need Fire Crest, that may be something to look into. The rest of the stuff is not really hitting for me this week. Yeah, the rest of the stuff is not really all that great. So why don't we go upstairs and see what other things are being sold in the base of operations. The advanced weaponry vendor this week, in my opinion, only has one thing really worth talking about, and that would be the classic M1A. I know that some people are looking for M1As and they've been searching for them and not finding them. Now this is not the first wave M1A, so you are missing a slot, but it has 171% headshot damage. For a faster firing sniper rifle, this could be your go-to. It does have prepared, competent, and ferocious. These talents are not the best, but still when it comes to a sniper rifle, having over 170% headshot damage is pretty good. And I would say you need to make a decision on if this is something worth your time, depending on the talents or not, but that is up to you. The rest of this stuff is kind of meh. The stats and talents aren't that great. This black market RPK 74 isn't, it could be a lot better, but it does have deadly. I know some people are interested in that, but the damage to targets out of cover is a bit low. The rest of the attachments don't really seem to be all that impressive. So why don't we go around and see what other things are being sold this week. In Dante's Run, there is a pretty nice pair of gloves being sold. We have some electronics gloves. Now you can re-roll that if you like, but if you are an SMG user, this may be right up your alley. It comes with the talent Astute. The first 3 bullets in your magazine have a 5% higher chance to do critical hits, and that is pretty good, having the first 3 bullets do 5% more. Plus you have 5% critical hit chance, 16% critical hit damage, and the actual SMG damage that you get with these gloves is 996. The maximum is 1001. So this is pretty close to the max for SMG damage on gloves. Plus you get basically 10% critical hit chance on the first 3 bullets, and you get 5% after that, plus 16% critical hit damage. This may not be too bad for someone looking to maximize critical hit chance and damage if they are an SMG user. This could work out very well if you are running Predator's Mark. You can get the bonus for SMGs with Predator's Mark along with all of this other stuff, and then maybe even re-roll that electronics for something more to your liking. I thought I'd throw this out here because SMGs haven't been the center of attention lately, but we all know that once the PvP update comes out, assault rifles might end up getting the hatchet really hard. So SMG users, you may be coming back into style, and this may be something nice to have in your stash for when that does happen. So let's move along and see what else is being sold. All right, now in Madison's stand, there is a very nice operator's pack that has 1,258 firearms, and it comes with the amazing backpack talent Specialized. If you don't know about this backpack, it adds 200% of your firearms and stamina to your skill power. The other great thing about this, as I mentioned previously about backpacks, is that it comes with 54% ammo capacity. The other issue is that it also comes with a major attribute of 9% critical hit damage. So if you are rocking critical hits, or if you're banking a little bit into your skill power so that when you use pulse you can have even more crit hit damage, it comes with a respectable 1258. And if you want to try to re-roll that, you can do so, or if you don't want to use critical hit damage and maybe want to go with some skill power, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do that. Overall, this is a pretty good backpack. If you don't have one of these specialized backpacks, you may want to check this out. This might help your build out a little bit, so give it a shot. If you don't have one, or if you've been looking for a specialized backpack that has ammo capacity, this is a pretty nice one to go for. All right, let's see what else is going on this week. In East 53rd Street, now this is very specialized and specific for a very minute number of players, but I thought it would be worth mentioning. The TI Rant Suppressor. This is a small caliber muzzle suppressor. This has 6.5 critical hit chance, 5.5 headshot damage, and 4% critical hit damage, and it also comes with 45% reduced threat. Now the reason I'm mentioning this is because I know some people are still using the MP7. This is a very small caliber weapon, and some of the larger ones that were very popular in terms of the muzzles do not fit that weapon. So having this small caliber muzzle for your sidearm, maybe even your AUG or your MP7 for the SMGs, this could be something worth looking into. Again, we don't know what's going to happen with the PvP and with the balance changes coming in 1.6. So if you are running an SMG or you think SMGs may have the come up, this could be a good suppressor for that time. Go ahead and go for it if you have the credits, but again, this is very specific and I know it may not appeal to everyone, but I figured I would mention it for those people who do run the MP7 or the AUG. All right, let's see what else is going on. All right, now on West 39th Street, there is a very nice electronics mod being sold. It has 250 electronics and it comes with a very impressive 268 armor major attribute stat. This is pretty good. I would highly recommend this. It only costs you about 21,000 credits, and to be honest, I think I'm gonna pick one up myself and throw this on my character. I know that for me personally, on my bag I use electronics, and this would give me a nice little bump. All right, so remember guys, if you are building your character, incremental increases are always a good thing. Try and find out where you can improve your builds and go with it from there. All right, so let's move on over to the next vendor and see what else is going on. All right, in the DZ2 gear vendor, there for you farmer Johns out there, there are a couple pieces that I think if you're farming to try to get the proficiency caches, this may help you guys out. Now there's the tactical vest, which has reckless. It has 1,218 armor, health on kill, and 25% increased kill XP. Now you may want to roll off the electronics because it is extremely low, but the armor on this piece is not that bad. The actual max armor for a chest piece is somewhere around 1272. Or it could be, yeah, it's 1272 for the chest pieces, so that's not too bad. Plus you get that 25% increase kill XP so that you can get closer to those caches. Now the other thing to go well with this are the knee pads. Now these knee pads also come with accomplish, where rewards from accolades are tripled. So if you get those headshots and get that XP, you get triple the amount. Plus this also comes with increased kill XP by 54%. Stack all of that stuff together and you're getting a lot of XP, helping you to get to those caches a lot faster. Now this does have health at 3,559. The base firearms is a bit low, so you may want to roll that either up or down, or depending on your build, maybe you want stamina. This is the kind of thing you need to think about, but this is strictly for a farming build. If you're just trying to get the max amount of XP, or you're trying to get some more XP so that you can get more caches, these two pieces may work out in your favor. All right, let's see what other things are being sold this week. The vendor in DZ3 seems to have a couple of interesting weapons for sale, particularly the Police T821. It has pretty decent base damage at 18.2, 36% critical hit damage. It comes with brutal, unforgiving, and predatory. Predatory in the third slot is pretty amazing, where you regenerate your health over 20 seconds at 35%. That's pretty nice. Now the other weapon of note is the Black Market AK-74 with 22.1 base damage and 23% enemy armor damage. This one also comes with deadly, self-preserved, and predatory. So if you're running a kind of vampire build, predatory and self-preserved are pretty good. The critical hits with this weapon heal you for 3% of the damage, and having deadly to go along with that, critical hit damage is increased by 15%, synergizes very well with this weapon. Although this is not a weapon that has critical hit chance on it, with pulse, and maybe even if you were running this with alpha bridge or having something like vicious in your stack, this may be a pretty nice option to run with. Alright guys, that is it for this week's Good or Garbage. I hope you guys found something new or something interesting or something fun that may switch things up for you, give you a little bit of variety, something fun to do with the division. I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, really and truly, guys, thank you so much for all the support and love lately. It's good to finally hit over 3,000 subscribers, and it really is nice to be able to interact with all of you and be able to read your comments and know that a lot of you are really cool gamers who are very respectful and not trolly, and basically come to the channel to find good information and have a good time and talk to like-minded people who really enjoy the game. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, I am Khan, TDK, Mr. So Real. Thank you guys so much. Catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.